Yeah, welcome to iTech This Week.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you for inviting me. We did a study last year that's been generating a lot of interest, both within our membership and elsewhere. It was sponsored by Verizon, and what we did is we took a comprehensive look at what utilities need in their communications infrastructure. Part of what triggered that is that there has, as I mentioned at the beginning, utilities build their own communications networks. It's something that has been a little problematic for outside technology providers to break into, and the reasons for this have been somewhat unclear, and there's been not a sort of a very clear set of recommendations on the part of utilities for what they need in their communications network. So we stepped up to the plate. We did a fairly comprehensive study. We looked at all the literature. We did survey research among our members. We conducted focus groups among our members, and we looked at what we ultimately sort of took a look at what are the key factors that anyone who is an outside technology provider needs to take into account in working with the utility industry. As you can imagine, this is a sector of the communications world that a lot of technology providers eye quite hungrily because it is so big. I think we're going to be releasing a study in a couple of weeks on what utilities spend on telecommunications. And for 2011, and for a variety of reasons, this number is an underestimate. For 2011, utilities are going to spend about $3 billion on telecommunications. I think, in truth, for a number of reasons, that's a very conservative estimate. You could probably double that and end up, and that's a $6 billion a year spend, and a lot of entities would love to be, part of that. But why they can't be and what's been the issues has been unclear. So we decided to clear things up, and we did a study, and we came out with key factors. And because of the nature of the electric industry, and really UTC represents water and gas and a host of other utility players, but it's easier for people to think about electricity as being more complicated. Because of the nature of the electric industry, telecom engineers in utilities have quite different requirements than you might face elsewhere if you were just providing some form of a communication service to the public or some form of a wireless communication commercial service. That's not what utilities want. What they want, and this is what the study found, is that reliability is a huge criteria because, as I said, these networks maintain the stability of the electric grid, and if the communications network's not reliable, then the grid is certainly a little bit more vulnerable than it otherwise might be.
Cynthia, thank you very much for joining us. Everybody, thanks for joining us today here at iTech This Week.